Chapter 22 Chaitra Krishna Chaturthi Vrata. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Dasharatha requested sage Vasishta, O Mahamuni, please tell me the importance of Chaitra Krishna Chaturthi. Listening to the joy-bestowing legends of Ganesha, one can never be satiated. Sage Vasishta said, I shall narrate an ancient and all-siddhi bestowing legend. In the country of Kalinga, there lived a king named Ugrasena. He was religious and would perform many yajnas and yagas. He was generous, follower of righteousness, proficient in the usage of weapons and astras, intelligent, truthful, and politically wise. He defeated other kings and expanded his kingdom. An unexpected calamity befell his kingdom. Ferocious tigers appeared from nowhere, killed his subjects, and would feed on them. The king tried to kill the tigers with the help of neighboring kings and weapons, but they could not be killed. It seemed that it was part of his destiny. Distressed by these tigers, his subjects lost faith in their king. They felt that it is because of the past evil deeds of the king that the people in his kingdom were forced to suffer. When a king is virtuous, his subjects are happy. When a king is corrupt and evil, what are the people to do? The king heard of these misgivings of his subjects from his messengers. King Ugrasena handed over the administration of his distressed kingdom to his ministers and went to the forest. In the forest, he performed austere penance in isolation. He meditated on Surya and sang his praises by reciting the Saurashukta. He remained without food for a year. The king was reduced to skin and bones, but he did not give up his penance. Then Surya manifested before him in the guise of a Brahmin. The king welcomed him appropriately and worshipped him. He gave fruits as an offering. The Brahmin consumed the offerings and was content. He asked the king, Why were you observing the penance? Why are you torturing your body? Please tell me. Ugrasena sighed and apprised him of the whole situation. He said, I have always ruled my kingdom righteously, yet ferocious tigers cruelly attack my subjects and feed on them. But I have been unsuccessful in all my attempts at finding a solution. Therefore, to find a solution, I have come to the forest and am performing austere penance. After listening to the king's explanation, the effulgent Surya, who was disguised as a Brahmin, reprimanded the king and said, O king, you are responsible for this calamity. You have not performed your duties aptly. O sinful one, the important Chaturthi Vrata is not observed in your kingdom. The Chaturthi Vrata is a means to attain the fourfold prosperity and needs to be observed before the commencement of any deed to earn rewards of the deed. Amongst the Vratas, this is the most superior. It bestows the fourfold prosperity. As it is not being observed, the ferocious tigers have wreaked havoc in your kingdom. Having expressed a strong disapproval, the Brahmin explained the significance of the Chaturthi Vrata. The king was astonished. Joyously he bowed to the Brahmin, who had imparted this benevolent knowledge, and said, Are you Surya himself who has granted me darshan in the guise of a Brahmin to bestow grace on me? I am blessed by your darshan. Now please describe the extraordinary form of Ganesh so that I can worship him with special reverence. Surya as a Brahmin then said, O king, listen to the description of the form of Ganesha, which is purifying and a bestower of enjoyment and liberation. It imparts the knowledge of yoga. Ganesha is none other than Chintamani, who is in the Chitta. He can be attained by conquering the fivefold tendencies of the mind through the practice of yoga. Intellectual one, the word Gaja signifies the asamprajnata state and is his head. The rest of his body is all-pervading, meaning samprajnata or manifest. The goddess Siddhi, who is the embodiment of Maya, resides on his left, and Buddhi, who is the bearer of Maya, is on his right side. The lord of both of them is Ganesha, and he always conducts divine plays in this world with Maya. O king, you should worship and sing bhajans of this Ganesha, following all rituals, and you will attain upliftment. Having expounded thus, Surya initiated the king into the Dashakshara mantra of Ganesha as ordained. Then Surya, who had visited him in the form of a Brahmin, disappeared. The king returned to his kingdom where he was welcomed by his ministers. He narrated all the events which had bestowed happiness. The Chaitra Krishna Chaturthi that followed was observed by the king along with all the subjects in his kingdom with all its rituals with faith and devotion towards Ganesha. His subjects in towns and villages happily observed the calamity destroying Sankashti Vrata. He proclaimed that this Chaturthi Vrata is the most important and must be observed by all. Some observed it out of fear, others out of faith. The ultimate result was that all the ferocious tigers disappeared. The people also became free of all diseases and his subjects lived happily. King Ugrasena engaged continuously in worship and singing of bhajans of Ganapati. He also worshipped Surya as his guru. After the passage of some years, he handed over the reins of his kingdom to his son, retired to a forest and engaged in the unwavering worship of Ganesha. In the end, he attained Swananda Loka and became one with Brahma. His subjects gradually attained the same. Such is the glorious legend of the Chaturthi Vrata. I have narrated it briefly. Now listen to one more sin-destroying legend. A sinful Kshatriya lived among the community of Bhilla, a tribe that lives in hilly regions in the country of Dravida. He was irreligious and adopted their way of life. He was greedy and materialistic. He would waylay travelers and rob them. One day the evil one saw a rich traveler in the forest. He chased him with his weapons. The victim feared for his life and ran as fast as he could. They were intercepted by a mighty bear. The bear tried to attack the Kshatriya. Frightened, he threw his weapons at the bear and injured it. The bear fell to the ground. It retaliated by injuring the Bhilla using his sharp claws. He lay fatigued and injured and lamented at the deserted forest. Fortunately for him, it was Chaitra's Sankashti Chaturthi. He unknowingly observed a fast. The wounded man had spent the day without any food or water. At the end of the day, at moonrise, a fruit fell from a tree nearby. He managed to eat the fruit with great efforts. Next day on Panchami, he succumbed to his injuries and became one with the divine. He had unknowingly observed the Sankashti Vrata. Many have attained liberation by observing this Vrata. They enjoy the pleasures on earth and in the end attain the divine. Even if I were to narrate these legends, tens of thousands of years would be insufficient. Such is the glory of this Vrata. It always bestows prosperity. It's second to none. Even when this Vrata is observed in ignorance, it bestows good fortune. Then how much more effective would it be if it is observed with knowledge and faith? Anyone who reads or listens to the legend of Chaitra Sankashti Vrata with faith and devotion will be blessed with all that he desires. Thus ends the 22nd chapter titled Chaitra Krishna Chaturthi Vrata in the 4th Khand of the Puran Upanishad Srimad Mudgal Puran, describing the legends of Gajanana. Dedicated to Shri Gajanana. End of chapter 22.